Motivation and excuses are present in your surrounding only. Some people take their hectic job schedule as an excuse, while some people use that a small little time that they have as a motivation to achieve their goal. Some people take excuse in the marriage that they are having, or maybe the family that they have, while some people take that as a motivation to provide them with a better life and better opportunities in life. Some people take their bad habits as an excuse, while some people, they work against it, and against all odds they just go ahead and achieve their aim. And we have one such person among with us. Hello everybody, I want to welcome you all to the success story series by EduTap. And today we have Mr. Rahul with us. Recently he has cleared RBI Grade B examination for the year 2023, and there's a lot to learn from him. And he has a work experience, he has a good work experience, and amid that he approached for the examination, he prepared for it because he knew he could do better, and he finally achieved his goal. So hello sir, I want to welcome you to EduTap.
Hi madam, thank you for such a great introduction.
Yeah, you deserve every bit of it, and we also want to congratulate you on this big achievement that you have.
Thank you, ma'am.
Right, so let's just start off. Okay, so I think the student, before knowing what the strategies you followed, I'm sure the students would want to know about your education qualification, and then how and when did you decided to prepare for this examination?
Yes, I did my graduation in mechanical engineering, 2015 passed out batch, and then I was preparing for bank exams, IBPS PO or SBA PO. In 2016, I got selected as SBA PO. Since then, I'm working in State Bank of India. So having an experience for the last 7 years.
Right. And okay, so like when we were just talking before the session, so you were just saying that like you are married and you have a baby also, 3 years old baby. Yeah. So you are working for 7 years, you were already in an officer post, and you had a family. So then what made you decide, what made you prepare for this examination? Because if you look out from outside, so you had everything. Right, but
Yes.
then what is that thing that motivated you to prepare for this examination?
Yes, madam. And initially in 2021, I didn't prepare, but I appeared for exam. Of course, I cannot clear the exam. And then in 2022, I applied, but I didn't even appear. And then in 2023, I gave everything with my family support. When I talked to my wife that I will be studying most of the times, you have to take care of the kid, and she did that work for me. And because of her help and also my in-laws, they supported me in all manners.
Right.
So they took care of. And most importantly, whenever I tell my child that I'm studying, she always leaves me. She doesn't disturb me. So helped me.
Yeah, so that's a collective success that your family has achieved. Right. So when you gave in 2021, so were your friends or colleagues, they were giving, so you decided to give, or you already knew about the examination, so you felt like that this is the experience that you would want to have?
Yeah, to be very honest, in initial period in SBI, we were enjoying, especially in our probation period. And then slowly things turned around. So there, it was really a motivation. But I didn't prepare well. And then in 2020, my two of my friends are already in RBI last year and previous to last year. So they also, I always spoke to them. So they motivated me, you try, you can do this. And against all odds, I was able to do this.
Right. All right. So that's very interesting. Your wife supported that decision, right? Because you were already there in a good post, but then and like, what was your plan? Like this time you cleared, right? But what if you have not cleared this time? So like, what would have been your what would you have done?
I will definitely try for next year. In fact, after giving phase one, I know after writing the phase one, I will clear. So once the results came, the phase one, I got, I cleared the phase one. At that time itself, I decided to quit the job and prepare fully, because I was always believing that I didn't have enough time to prepare, whereas other people will be having 24 hours. In my case, most of the time will be gone in the branch itself. So I decided that way.
Right, but
so it gave me the confidence.
Wasn't that risky? Like you have family, and maybe the in-laws would have also suggested, like, how are the things going to be then?
Yeah, I don't know, it's a bold decision or a crazy decision, but because of the confidence I have in myself and my wife supported, So I was able to, but still, we didn't go that way. Luckily cleared this time.
Yeah. Yeah, luckily you didn't have to go that way. But then again, this is what the support in your family it means. Because sometimes we know our caliber, but sometimes we just take a step back for the people around us. But if they are supporting us, it definitely boosts us to move ahead, right? So that's a very beautiful start to today's session, I would say. Now let's talk about like phase one. All right. So in phase one, who are watching for the very first time. So we have phase one, phase two, and then interview for an RBI Grade B examination. In phase one, we have four subjects in which MCQ based questions are asked: quants, that is mathematics, basically,
Yeah.
reasoning, English, and general awareness. All right. So, sir,
Mhm.
even though you had prepared for SBI, but that was back in 2016, and today it's like 2023. So
Yeah.
definitely your these subjects must have been good at that time, but there was a 7 year gap. So did you prepare? Did you have to prepare from scratch? Along with that, I would also want to ask for just for con reasoning English first, then we'll move towards English. Is about you have given SBI exam also. So and means that's a banking exam, and this time you give RBI also. So if you would have to compare, would you say that both examination are on the similar line only, or the difficulty level is of which of the examination is higher?
Oh, it is very evident actually. It is definitely RBI. The exam was not on similar side. In fact, in phase two, it is 5.5 hours for RBI. Also in phase one, the general awareness questions are 80 questions. It is not the case in SBI exam. And for aptitude, I have to start from scratch. But reasoning, I'm to some extent I'm strong. English, I didn't prepare anything. Whatever comes, that's it for English. And this is what for madam English and reasoning and aptitude.
Okay,
Aptitude,
so
I
you
started from scratch.
yeah, that's what I want to ask. Like, what are the sources did you refer? Even if you started from scratch, so what were the sources were your choice?
Actually, I've taken 25 mock exams for phase one, madam. Those 25 mock tests were the only source. Where in those 25 mock tests, so many different type of questions I faced, and I improvised in aptitude. So those mock
Okay,
tests
okay.
had
So that those 25 were from just one source or for multiple sources, like for
multiple,
all the institutes you.
yeah,
Okay, so for
multiple.
all the institute, they provide the 10, I think 10, 12, 10 mock test everybody
Yeah.
provides. So you have
And
taken like
institute
such.
provided the 5 to 6 free mock tests as well. So I utilized all those
Yeah.
things.
Okay, okay. So whatever be the free mock test that you could find on internet, as well as of
Yeah.
multiple institute, whatever they provide, you have done, right? So, but
Yeah.
still, like even if you say because you then took break after phase one, right? But before that, you were studying with your office hours only. But that must have been difficult. So for like quant reasoning, even though like reasoning was fine, okay, but for quant, like even if you started from scratch, so was it like you touched all the chapters, or were there some specific chapters you thought that you would focus on?
I focused only on DIs, madam, because I'm bad at other sums, miscellaneous sums. I'm really bad, so I don't want to give it a try. So if I try that, I will be wasting the time. I'm already having only less time, so I don't want to waste that time. So I focused only on one particular chapter, that is DI. So I managed to solve almost all different types of DI. So it gave me the hope that whatever comes in the exam, I can clear.
Right, but still, like if you have gone just for DI, but it happens because you were giving for the third time, even though the initial two were not as serious attempts, but still it was third time. So didn't you have that fear that you can't risk it? I should go for more number of chapters.
Yeah, I tried for another the wrong numbers. I tried something, but DA is the only thing that was always working out. In the 25 mock text I've taken, so managed to
Hmm.
score 4 or 5 always, not less than 4.
Okay.
So in general, last 3 to 4 year RBA cutoff in aptitude is similar to that only. So it gave me the
Hmm.
confidence that 4 to 5, 100% correct. That is enough to clear the aptitude
The
cutoff.
sectional cutoff, right?
Yeah.
Right. So aspirants for watching for the very first time. So what happens? We have four subjects that we've already understood. So there is a sectional cutoff that we have to clear, and then there is an overall cutoff we have to clear. So usually, and as sir also followed that approach, that in quants he was not that much good at quants, so he decided just to clear the sectional cutoff, and then in rest of the subject to grab the marks so that he can clear the overall cutoff. So, okay, so for quant and reasoning and English, you followed that. And sir, now if you talk about general awareness, because there's a lot of mugging up that has to be done, a lot of data-based question is asked in RBI, and also from the diversified source. Some like from schemes comes, reports comes, then RBI news, and another banking finance news, and then general current affairs also. So there was so much thing to do. How did you, what sources did you refer, and how did you manage to cramp up that data?
Yes, madam. The sources I've utilized is EduTap, GK, and Affairs Cloud. So
Okay.
usually I prepare like weekly current affairs. I prepare. I study the entire week and then I revise it 2 or 3 times and then I go for another week. So by doing this, the numbers you will be able to remember some numbers. Only very few will be confusing, but still you can easily remember the names and numbers and all those data. So week wise and then in the month end, all 4 weeks.
Right, right. That's a very important thing that you have said, that once you have done a particular PDF of weekly PDF, then you used to revise twice and thrice before moving ahead. Because you know, most aspirants, they do their mistake that they keep on adding new information in their head, but they don't revise the previous one, and because of that reason they can't even retain what they have studied, and also the new things are also, it becomes very overwhelming for them, right? So for that
Revision is,
also you, I'm sorry sir, you were saying something.
sorry, madam. Revision is the key. That one I wanted to add.
Yeah, yeah, revision is the key. Yeah, that's very true. So for the general awareness also, you gave various mock tests, and did you follow the marathon as well?
Did I follow what, madam?
The marathon sessions that are that happens in YouTube now by various institutes.
Thanks for bringing this one. From my home to the exam venue, it is almost 45 to 50 minutes. At that time, I listened to that Maha Marathon session.
Mhm.
3 questions directly came from that sessions.
Oh,
Three. So,
yes.
yeah. I
So yeah,
followed,
so
madam. I
that was,
followed those.
even the
Yes.
last minute preparation can help you. And you know, it happens sometime, even if you watch videos now, even though you don't remember the exact name, if somebody will ask you, maybe you'll not be able to say, but from options you will have the idea
Yes.
that okay, this is that answer. Right. Okay. So, and okay, so it was like for phase one, and as you were doing first time and previously you had twice, you were not able to clear phase one. So
Yes.
was it like uh, that time period when you were studying? So did there come any time where you were feeling low and you were having that doubt, like, why am I even doing so? I have a job, I have everything. Why am I torturing myself and isolating myself from everybody, from my child, my family, and like whenever the things were not going your way? So what was your feeling then, and what did you do to resolve that?
Yes, madam. No, I faced all the situations, whatever you mentioned. But one thing really motivated me. If I get RBI, I'll be posted in only metro cities. That will be helpful for my child for her future education. Because in SBI, it's not the case. You cannot always be in metro areas. And also for phase two, I had very, very little time. And in fact, my agent also helped me. He granted me the medical leave and everything. So he also supported me in a way. And also for interview, he supported very well. But in that very less time, I didn't know typing and all. But I was trying to, the content. If I know the content, I can type 400 to 500 words or even 500 to 600 words. So I utilized another institute material, and
Hmm.
my friend bought EduTap. So also I utilized EduTap, and then I utilized the Chat GPT as well for the content creation.
All right. So for now in phase two talk, we have now Chat GPT as well. All right.
Yeah.
So sir, how did you use the Chat GPT? I'm definitely sure students would want to know about it.
Yes, when I first using ChatGPT, initially I just put a question that I'm going to prepare for RBI exam, and it says he can ChatGPT can help in all possible manners. It was the
Yeah.
first reply, and then for when I go through the material, either EduTap or other institute material, I found something that I'm unable to get from those two PDFs. So when I was looking for more, then ChatGPT gave very simple terms in a simple language. So it is easily stored in your memory. So you can utilize those while typing.
Right.
So that's how it used.
Right, so it provided you with a more simplified notes which worked for you, and
Yes,
then you utilize that information to write answer on your own. Right.
yes,
So now if we individually talk about it, so again to the aspirants who don't know anything about phase 2 yet, so we have both MCQs as well as descriptive in phase 2. So we have in that FM finance and management, we have economic and social issues known as ESI, and then descriptive English. Sir, I want to ask, like, for example, you said that you did not have much knowledge or much practice, I would say, for descriptive writing. So, did you have the strategy that I would focus on MCQs more and to have just on average answer written for descriptive, but or did you put everything for knowing how to write good descriptive as well?
no, like I focused on objectives more. In finance and management, it was easy. The objectives were easy. The 30 questions. You can easily doable. From minimum 25 to 27, you can easily doable. It was easy. And in ESI, it is not the case. It was tough, and I was managed to give only 11 to 13 correct answers only. And for descriptive, I have given only one mark test, but I was not satisfied with my descriptive because of the words. I'm unable to give the word limit, unable to meet the word length. And it
And
went well.
sources, if you talk about for FM, what did you follow?
For objectives, like I mentioned, the other institute
Like
and
the two institute that you were following. So okay, so for that you follow. Okay, and now if you talk about ESI, so even though you were taking help from GPT and you had basically two courses, one of your friends and one of yours, and you both were studying out of it, right? But like ESI, it's very dynamic. Here a lot of current affair questions are asked even in descriptor. Now if you look at there is some touch or essence of current affairs, and you although you had the sources, but the current affairs which are being given by any institute PDF, like including us or any, so we provide very short and crisp notes in those current affair PDF. However, EduTap provides some fodder material as well, that's a different thing. But for current affairs we also provide short and crisp, and I'm sure baki jo institute hai, they are also doing the same. But in ESI descriptive, these points will help, but then you have to frame an answer also.
Yes.
So, how did you select even for the practice, how did you select the topics that these are the topics that I should be prepared for the examination, and then you prepared?
Oh, initially, madam, I didn't give any attention to any specific topic. I had to study entire thing, whatever is there, I had to go through, because then only I can write two questions out of three in 10 marks and in 15 marks. But in page two, what happened? I was able to think of only one question. Other question, I have absolutely no idea. But still, I managed to get data points from in generalized sources, the reading newspapers, or the points related to some other things, but still you can add to these questions. In a generalized manner, I frame answer to one question.
Right.
So while
So you just mentioned newspaper reading. So like when phase 1 happened, before phase 1 also you were reading, or just was exclusively for phase 2 you developed? For phase 2 only.
Based on interview, yeah.
Okay. So for that, so there are a lot of editorials that come. Some directly caters to ESI syllabus, while some are like generic also. So did you focused your attention only to the topics which caters to ESI syllabus, or maybe finance topics, or you were studying all the editorials just to be on the safer side?
No, madam, only to the ESA and FM chapters only. Because already I had only less time, so I cannot cover everything in newspaper.
Right, that's true. So Ismay, one more thing I want to add, maybe the aspirant would want to know, like you prepared only for phase 2, so around of just 1 month you must have studied the editorials. So did you feel like that the editorial, the questions, descriptive questions that had come, were they from that 1 month time period only, or maybe they were a little bit, or like 1 or 2 questions were even beyond that as well?
Oh, no, 2-3 questions are even beyond that, but still those 1 month editorial reading, it will give you an idea how to write some answers there. So it really helped.
Right, in a way, because the national issues they are in news only. So even if in detail they might have been discussed before, but at least some part of it is touched here and there every time. Right,
Yes.
that's true. Okay, so this was for your FM and your ESI,
Yes.
where you tried to focus more on objective, but for descriptive, you followed editorials at least for a month between phase one
Yes.
and phase two, and also you took help from GPT
Yes.
to frame some answers for it or how to write in a very simplified manner to understand it. And for the descriptive English, if we say there we have preces, there we have letter we have to write, and essay also we have to write. So for like for ESI FM we do have a certain syllabus, but for descriptive English we do not have. So in essay, what do you feel like that what sort of essays topics are asked, like if you could remember?
Yes, yeah, right now I don't remember. But
Yeah.
in general, a technology related one and economy related one or finance related one. So it
Okay.
was like that only. So
Still
and
catering to ESI and AFM, I'm
uh,
sorry, FM syllabus only.
especially this last 1 month newspaper reading, it will help you in English descriptive writing. Even not
Okay.
directly for those questions in FM and ESI, but still you can
Hmm.
apply in English.
Right. So it's a very key takeaway that this student can have, that at least like for phase one, if you don't have time, you have limited time, as sir had limited time, but at least for phase two, you can just read out the editorials on a daily basis. That will, even if the direct question will not come, but at least some portion of it, you will be definitely able to utilize that in your answer. Right. So
Yes.
then, sir, phase two happened, and were you then like happy or satisfied with your performance, or so did you prepare for interview, or were you waiting for your result first?
After giving a page two, I had only 1% of hope, madam, because I remember while writing one question, only 10 seconds were left, and I
Okay.
was going through those paragraphs. I found some spelling mistakes here and there, here and there. So after thinking all these things, I didn't have the hope. So I was waiting for result. After result only, I started.
Right. So Safir, after when the result came, then after how many days did you get for the interview? Yes, sir. So I was asking that how many days did you get for the interview after your phase two
Yes, madam.
result?
50 days.
50 or 15?
50, 50.
Okay, 50 days. Okay, 50 days you get. Right. So that's a ample time to prepare, but still then it happens, it has both its pros and cons. Like if you have so many days, one thing is that you have so many time to prepare, but then you start overthinking and you just try to think, yaar, ye bhi pad leta hu, ye bhi, and it might, mess up in your head. So
Yes.
for 50 days, what was then your next plan? Like how to prepare for the interview?
They provided one biodata, madam. I filled up the biodata. So my preparation was towards my biodata and the RBI website, plus what SBI is doing related to my organization, what SBI is doing, and what are about everything about SBI, everything about
Hmm.
RBI, and everything about my biodata. So I simplified my interview process to these things, but I prepared fully in all manners in these
Right.
three things.
And did you give any mock interviews as well?
Yes, madam. Yes, madam. In various institutes, I have taken mock interview. From EduTap alone, I have taken two. It
Okay.
really helped because Raja sir and other sir from NABARD, uh, their their knowledge helped.
Experience, it says a lot. Yeah. Yeah, their experience and the questions that they ask. We have heard a lot, and students have given this feedback that they ask very technical questions, and which other means whoever who takes interviews, they usually don't ask, but in the examination it's more on the technical line only. So yeah, that we also we are very grateful for them that they have been associated with us, and they are providing such good insight to the aspirants, right? But so here I want to ask, like as you have said that you have taken from multiple institutes, you had taken the interview, but it happens, everybody is giving the suggestion that they are giving on their own experiences, right? So if you're taking suggestions from five people on the same thing, and maybe they might say the same thing, or they might say different thing. So sir, how did you like then wasn't it confusing for you?
It was definitely confusing, and that is exactly where we have to finalize what we should be saying to the panel members. So we have
Hmm.
to finalize certain things because, like you mentioned, various institute. too many chefs will spoil the cook, something like that.
Yeah.
So you have to identify what to mention while in the actual interview when the panel members are asking some questions. So
True.
one needs to identify.
Yeah, that's true. Like whatever the suggestions have been given, the best that suits your personality and
Yes.
your way of thinking, that only you should apply. That's a very key takeaway for the aspirants again, as well. That whenever you have been given 10 suggestions, but for one or two, all are of course good because they have been given by experienced. But then for one or two, you would feel connected. You would feel like, yeah, this
Yes.
is something which I might think just because I don't have experience, so I don't know. But if I had experience, these were the things I might have think, and then follow in that particular direction, because nobody is giving any wrong suggestion, it's just what suits you. So that is true, right? So after that, like, okay, so finally interview happened, and then after that you had to wait for the result for some time. So during that time period, now what was going on inside your mind? Like, were you satisfied with the interview, or you felt like, no, there's a lot of mistake that you might have committed?
Yes, madam. I was not satisfied after giving the interview. I was thinking about my page two, where I was only able to write 250, 300 words for 400 word questions, and again 350 to 400 or 450 words for 600 word questions. Also, the spelling mistakes, and then the interview also didn't happen as I planned. So, when you think cumulatively, I thought, no, not this time. So I have to prepare. In fact, I've started preparing for upcoming RBI exam.
Okay, so you had already started the preparation.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So, yeah, but one thing I want to highlight to the aspirants, some of you might take this in another way. Because we don't know what quality answers did sir wrote. So because sir might be having some spelling mistake, but maybe that would have been compensated in some other way. So please don't be lenient about it. That you can just write anything and with wrong spellings, and that would work for you, right? The quality, either your quality should be that good that maybe this a little bit of spelling mistake here and there can be ignored, and we don't even know like how much percentage of spelling mistakes were there in the answer. So please be mindful about this and do. But yes, the key takeaway that you can take is to practice a lot in typing, so that in the examination you don't commit any spelling mistake and just be in the safer side, right? So then, sir, okay, so after that, you started preparing for RBI, and you must be feeling very, that time period, you must be feeling tensed maybe at that time period.
Yes, madam, because in fact, my interview went for 27 minutes and I was recollecting all the questions they asked and what are the answers I have given. Uh, so I was really tensed. Like I said, I
Yeah.
didn't have any hope till the result arrives. It's a
So,
surprise.
did you share with anybody like the I gave this answer and somebody gave any validation or maybe said that you could have said this or that?
Yes, I have few friends. Those interview will be after my interview. So certain things I
Okay.
shared with them.
Right. Okay. And then finally the result came, like, where were you at that moment? And then afterwards you told your family, and like how was the thing after that?
Yeah, madam. When the results were announced, I was not aware. I was sleeping, and my friend called me and he informed me that he saw my roll number. And then when I verified, I still don't believe it. Is it actually my roll number? And then I went to my, the uh, another application form and the biodata. I checked my roll number, and then when I received a mail from your team and other institute, okay, then only I right. Exam. It gave
Yeah,
me a huge.
it's your roll number only. What was that
Yeah.
feeling like?
When my baby was born, I felt something. So it is very similar to it. That's how I would. Uh,
That's that's very beautiful thing that you have said. Like that happiness, it's very rare to have. And of
yes,
course, you have done your struggle for 3 years. Maybe
yes,
it was not as consistent as it was, but still that hope and love for RBI, it was always there. And
yes,
after all the sacrifices you and your family has made, definitely it would have been felt wonderful after that. Right.
yes,
So,
madam.
okay, sir. So that was a very beautiful and inspiring journey, and I'm sure many aspirants, they will get benefit out of it. So, at the end, sir, anything that you would want to say to the aspirants?
Yes, I have few things to say to the aspirants. Yeah, firstly, whenever I see some successful candidate interview in our channel, I really wanted to give one. So finally, that wish had come true. So I request them to wish for same things. Also, don't lose the grip on their dreams. So it is really, because I have few friends, they tried, they're unable to clear, and then they gave up and they're moving to some other things. So don't do that. You just have the hope and try, evaluate yourself on a daily basis, and then improvise yourself and be the better version, and you can easily clear the exam. Just
Right.
keep
You
your
have that
hopes alive.
self-faith in it. Yeah, you do have that self-faith and hope that no, if not this time, but next year, definitely you're
Yes,
going to
yes,
make that.
yes. Because it's the case with me, and not just with me.
Yeah, with many others. Right. That's true. So thank you so much, sir, for joining with us and sharing your views. And we wish you all the very best for your future endeavors.
Thanks for having me. Thank you.